am standing in front of Shakespeare and Company, Shakespeare and Co., one of the oldest bookstores here in Paris. We woke up this morning and left the hotel to go get breakfast at our usual haunt, which is just the croissant and coffee for $3.20. It's like so inexpensive. It's such a good deal. I should mention that if you're at Shakespeare & Co., I don't know if you can see it through the trees, but Notre Dame is right there. So if you go to Notre Dame, you could just come across the street and see Shakespeare & Co. As well as walk along the Seine and check out all the cool little shops. I forget what they're called, but the shops that are actually along the Seine River. But I digress, obviously. We woke up, went to the restaurant, had our croissant and coffee, and then immediately went to go get COVID tested for the flight tomorrow. Boy, do they dig deep over here. Like, it was just an antigen test, so I wasn't thinking too much of it. It wasn't a PCR test. And instead of the 30 euros that I was told it cost, it only cost 20 euros. So we were able to get somewhat of a discount on it. Hopefully everything comes out good, and we'll find out in the next hour here or so. And after that, we hopped on a train to come out to the Notre Dame station off of the line number 4. And hopping off of line number 4, we came out the station at the Notre Dame exit. And you'll notice Notre Dame is just right there as you come out. It's beautiful. And then it's funny, Google Maps had me turn around and come through an alleyway to go to the smallest street here in Paris. It's something Saint Pêche, I believe. Rue de Saint Pêche, maybe. I'll write it on the screen in case I'm saying it wrong. But it's at its narrowest, it's only 1.8 meters. And it's funny how they consider that an actual like street that like cars could go down technically, but no car would fit down it unless it's one of those like scooters or a one-person car. We've been seeing them all over here actually, where there's not even room really for luggage. It's just a people mover, or a person mover rather. And then from walking down that street and checking out the cool art on the wall on that street, we actually just came over to Shakespeare and Company where we're at right now. And Lynn's super interested in how they actually like sort their books on the wall and everything. It's actually pretty neat. So this is the second time we're here. The first time was when we originally came to see Notre Dame, but Shakespeare & Co. was closed at that time, so we couldn't actually see it. But we'll check back in a moment here when we get to our next stop. Yep, hoping for the best. Back in a moment. And welcome back. We have left the Notre Dame area and made our way down towards the Luxembourg Gardens. Prior to getting here though, we actually had a little snack at a place called Odette, I believe is how that's pronounced, where they do these cool little desserts, choux cremes or cream puffs as more commonly known in English. We had 6, they were delicious. 6 flavors out of 12 actually. We had vanilla, pistachio, strawberry, raspberry, lemon, and passion fruit. Was that 6? Vanilla, pistachio. Yep, that was 6. And then a couple of coffees. And then came down to the garden, the Luxembourg Garden, which I'm standing in currently. And before we came in here, we went to go to the restaurant of the Garden of Luxembourg, which is not in here. It's actually outside of here. It's just right around the corner. It was highly rated on Google, like Google Maps. And Mom was kind of hesitant because she wanted to go to a Michelin star restaurant, but they were able to actually, she wasn't able to actually find one that had like a lunch. Like they only had dinner options. And so what ended up happening was Mom found this place, which is actually a Maitre Restaurant, which I'll write it on the screen. Hopefully I can remember how it's spelled. But what it means is that the restaurant has been designated as a restaurant that only cooks fresh food, meaning they never freeze or have to refrigerate their foods. They buy their vegetables daily, and it's a lot of work. But it's totally worth it because the food is absolutely delicious. All three of us got menus. Lynn got the steak. It was braised beef cheeks. And for her starter, a salad, I believe. And then, yeah. And then Mom and I got foie gras salads to start. Mom got the sea bass for her main. And I got the lamb in like this puff pastry. It was absolutely fantastic. Lynn's was the second best by far. The beef was just so well cooked. It was so succulent and soft and juicy. And then Mom's fish was it was good. It was just probably wasn't as good as ours. And then for dessert, we got the hazelnut creme brulee, which came with a scoop of hazelnut ice cream, glacis, I believe they call it, and a cup of coffee. Oh, and my menu came with a glass of wine, so we got a glass of white wine as well. Altogether, it was really delicious. Totally worth it. It was 98 euros in total, and just absolutely amazing. The waitress, who's also the manager, because the actual waitress or server was sick, she was informing us about that Maitre Restaurant, and to look for that sign in order to make sure that you're getting quality stuff, quality food, fresh foods. It also means that things are prepared in a different way, apparently. So, real good there. Then we came to the Luxembourg Gardens just to walk around a little bit. We're actually on our way to the Pantheon right now. But at the entrance of the gardens, we actually went to go see another Statue of Liberty. So, I actually don't know how many Statues of Liberty I've seen now. I mean, at least 2 here, so. I've seen the one in New York, seen one in Japan. Kind of wondering if I've seen one anywhere else. I'm sure I have. But, just a chill day, walking around. Nothing much to do. I love the fact that everybody's just sitting out in the sun reading. It's so relaxed. The atmosphere is really good. And the temperature, it's quite warm. Probably mid 70s right now. Anyhow, we will check back in a moment once we get to the Pantheon. Be back in a sec. Alright, and we are back. Obviously, I am in the hotel room. I'm actually by myself in the hotel room because after going to the gardens, we actually decided to go over to the Pantheon. And the Pantheon, we just walked around real quick, took some photos on the outside because Mom wanted to go to the Opera House next to the Galeries Lafayette. I thought they closed at 6. Should have looked it up. They closed at 5. It was about 4 o'clock when we actually got there, so technically we could have still gone in. They actually said that they advised at least about an hour to an hour and a half to walk through, and it ended up not working out for us. They open at 10 tomorrow, so hopefully before we go back to America, our flight is at 4 and I've already checked in. We could go and we can check that out before we fly out of here, which is kind of a weird thing. I'll probably just check out of the hotel, leave the luggage with the hotel staff. We'll go to the place, check out the gallery, and then come back, pick up our luggage, and get out of here. It's actually not too difficult of a journey, being that we're at Montparnasse already, so we just have to get on to I think it's the 12 train, go to Notre Dame, get off there, and then hop on to an RERB to then go directly to the airport. I also have to ship back the internet that we've used, and I believe we have to go to the tax office to make sure that we get all our taxes done. That should just be a quick check-in. Hopefully, we'll see what actually happens. But because we're already checked in for the plane, I'm not too concerned. As for the Pantheon area, I hate to go back and forth on this, but the Pantheon area was awesome. Like, I've never seen it before, so that was really cool. And I would have gone inside had Mom not wanted to go to the Opera House. We should have just gone inside since we ended up not doing both in the end. And it was just poor planning on my part, really. I should have gone to the Opera House first this morning when they opened, and then worked my way backwards, if that makes any sense. But after the Galeries Lafayette, or not the Galeries Lafayette, but the Opera House, which is behind the Galeries Lafayette, Haussmann, we had kind of a decision it was free time, do whatever you want. And I thought a blister I had on my foot had popped, so I decided that I was going to come back to the hotel. Lynn wanted to still hang out in that area a little bit longer and do some more shopping, which is totally cool. So we split up that way, and then Mom was going to come back to the hotel with me, but she then decided that she wanted to just hop on a random bus and just ride around the city and see what she could see here in Paris and see what it's like, which that's totally cool too. So that's what she's up to. I have checked out my foot. It's okay. The blister didn't pop, which is surprising because I thought I felt liquid in there. Maybe there's more than one blister. Maybe I should check my foot again, but other than that, I'm just chilling. Probably gonna bust out the laptop and watch some Netflix or something, chill for a moment, and then get ready to go back out and see a little bit more of Paris. Maybe I'll do some research on Paris to see what there is to see at night. But yeah, that's where we're at so far, and we'll see what happens next. There's still dinner, and I think that's really how the day is kind of gonna end here. So we'll check back in a moment once things get going. Okay, and I am back in the hotel room, obviously. Or I guess it looks like I never left. We ended up all meeting back here at the hotel, and then hopping onto a train and going to another Maitre Restaurateur restaurant that I found called Les Blevettes, or Les Blevettes. And it took about 20 minutes to get there. And the food there was just astounding again. We did 3 menus, plus a glass of wine and a glass of coffee or a cup of coffee. And the 3 menus that we did were, for the starters, we had this egg soup type deal with cheese.
Coddled egg.
A coddled egg is what it was called. Lynn got that. Mom got a salmon tartare. And I got the duck gizzard and foie gras salad. That was delicious. In my opinion, that was the best one out of the 3. Mom's was the weakest, and Lynn's was really good as well. Had really natural flavors. You could really taste the animal that you were eating. So Lynn's egg was like really, it tasted like an egg. And then for the mains, I got the salmon crusted in sesame seed. Lynn got the duck in a honey applesauce, and Mom got the rump roast that was sauteed. And Lynn definitely won out on that one. Like, Lynn's was the best by far. I'm kind of in between mine and Mom's. Mom's had better flavor, but mine was like really like had the flavor of the fish and like the sesame came through really strong. So it depends on which way you would lean more. That being said, we were actually all full at that time, but then dessert came. And I got an apple pie with ice cream. Mom got 3 crepes. One with a rum sauce, one with a chocolate sauce, and then one with butter and sugar. Lynn got the chocolate cake. I think I came out ahead again. Lynn's chocolate cake was good, but it was just kind of plain. It was just meh. Mom's crepes were really decent, except it just again, like, it wasn't fantastic, it wasn't standoutish, and the apple pie was just delicious. There was a little bit of bitterness in it, which I don't know where that came from, but aside from that, it was fantastic. The ice cream was really good as well. So, aside from that, we decided to split up again. Mom took the bus home because that was actually a faster time and shorter distance, with the exception that Mom actually had to transfer buses twice to get home. Whereas Lynn wanted to go get a geocache, so we walked towards that geocache, and then we went back to the Bir Hakeim Bridge and saw the Eiffel Tower again, and the bridge lit up. And then we hopped on to the number 6 train and came home. And here we are. I don't know how much vlogging I'll be able to do tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a very fast day, so to say. The plan is to eat breakfast in the hotel and then immediately go to the airport to try to get all of our stuff done, whether it be the tax returns for like the high priced items that we purchased, and making sure that we get through security and all that, and the COVID stuff, which our tests came back, all 3 of us are negative, so, you know, knock on wood, right? And we're good to go. So that's where I'm going to end this tonight. It's about 11 o'clock, a little after, I believe. And yeah, good night, and we'll see you in the last video for France coming up. Peace.